You know, we do the pay-per-view every time we're holding our breath.
Mayweather Promotion CEO blasted for saying, Canelo, payday, you want payday, I know that. Versus Bivol did horrible numbers, basically. Eddie Hearn comes back and says it did unbelievable numbers. Let's explore it in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I ain't got no time to waste, and I know neither do you, so let's get to the actual facts. So the clip you seen at the beginning, Eddie Hearn was saying, we're holding our breath for numbers to come back. So does that sound like a venture that has it in the bag and knows full well that they have a successful event? Now, aside from that, Eddie Hearn, he responded on Twitter to Ranger Rollins. You see it on the screen. And Ranger Rollins said, the number I've heard and continue to hear for pay-per-view buys for Canelo versus Bivol is under 300,000 pay-per-view buys. I wasn't going to put it on the timeline first because some might think I'm trying to hate, but at this point, it is what it is. The event was an unmitigated disaster from a pay-per-view sales perspective. And Eddie Hearn seen this and said, double it, right? So, first of all, if you got to listen to what's being said. Listen to what's being said and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Ranger Rollins said the number I've heard and continue to hear from his sources say Canelo Bivol pay-per-view buy did under 300,000. Under. Operative word being under. So that means it didn't reach 300,000. Eddie Hearn put some sunglasses in an emoji and says double it. How do you double under 300,000? So that could anything from 0 to 299,999 is under 300,000. So Eddie Hearn simply putting double it does not really make me believe that, because the actual tweet says I've heard it did under 300,000. So if it did under, that could be anything under the sun. That could be 212, 215, 175. You know, there's several sequential numbers underneath 300,000. So double what? What does that mean? So that's one reason I don't believe Eddie Hearn and what he's saying. Then you take a look at the common sense factor. They lied and said Canelo Bivol was sold out and there were several thousand tickets and empty seats. There are videos and Instagram posts where you can see the arena and it looked gutted for Canelo Bivol, considering all things considered Canelo. The bottom line is Canelo is a lost leader for DAZN. Even at 600,000, which I'll talk more about that special number, but even if it did 600,000, which I don't believe, but even if it did 600,000, you still fell short of what you said. Eddie Hearn previously stated, and you see it on the screen, that he believes, and Eddie Hearn fully expects Canelo versus Bivol, a Russian fighter during a Russian invasion over Ukraine. He expects Canelo versus Bivol match to match the numbers that Showtime Boxing, Premier Boxing Champions, and PBC reached, which was Canelo Plant pay-per-view. And he said in multiple interviews that he believed that it would make do like the same numbers, basically, right? So even at 600,000, then it's still capped because the Caleb Plant number was 800,000 and change. So that did almost a cool million on Showtime. Now, again, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but I'm not dumb either. And you ain't gonna insult my intelligence. That's what I do know. Nobody in boxing gonna do that, right? You gotta independently think for yourself. Critical thinking, analytical thinking, let's get it. Common sense factor. So, Eddie Hearn, he's claiming Canelo Bivol was a massive success with unbelievable numbers. He said this in a recent interview when he was being asked about fighting Leonard ELLERBE and Leonard ELLERBE's comments. He said it did an unbelievable number for the first time, because this was the first time they actually did pay-per-view after lying for several years and saying they're out of the pay-per-view business, and they're going to put others who still worship the pay-per-view model out of business. But that's a whole nother story. And if you follow my channel, you'll already be versed and familiar with that. If you don't follow my channel, that's on you. Subscribe, like, and comment. Really in that order. Subscribe, like, and comment. SLC. Subscribe, like, and comment. Because I looked at my YouTube analytics in the last 30 days, 50% of the people that watch my content for free on YouTube subscribe. The other 50% did not. If you want to be well-versed and informed in the sport of boxing, the best sport, sweet science, I'm giving you all access pass. I'm giving you the season hopper pass. Access is now granted. 24/7 boxing. Subscribe. So regardless, Eddie Hearn has still fell massively short of his projection for Canelo to match the plant numbers. Now, again, using the common sense factor, common sense will get you pretty far in this world, especially with smartphones. You got dumb people, right? Smartphones have created dumb people. Some people don't think. They got all this technology. You can go to Google in a split second, get the answer to any question in the world, any formula. How many teaspoons in a tablespoon? You can check with Google and find that out in a matter of seconds, right? And common sense takes you a long way. Showtime did an amazing job. Caleb Plant did an amazing job of being a B-side. He got pushed. He was slapping Canelo. Canelo mushed him and pushed him in the face. His glasses broke off into his cheek. The glass cut him. So he has probably a permanent scar, or a scar that'll be there for a little while under his eye. Caleb talks the talk. Caleb can fight. Caleb was undefeated. This was an undisputed fight. Common sense. With the great push, promotional push, shoulder programming, advertising, the beef between Canelo and Caleb Plant, and he's like, oh, he said something about my mom and this. You really believe Canelo Bivol at times of war, where Canelo chose to fight an obscure Russian person in the middle of the Russia versus Ukraine invasion, as I've stated so many times before the fight, and no promotional put. I didn't see one like all access 24/7 top rank in ESPN been doing the blood, sweat, and tears. I seen nothing to build up Canelo versus Bivol. And you mean to tell me Canelo did 600,000 with piss poor promotion and fighting a Russian fighter in Vegas in the middle of a Russian invasion, whereas Caleb Plant did a great job of selling the fight. Canelo beefing with Caleb Plant did a great job of hyping people up. Showtime did an amazing job pushing the product. And you mean to tell me DAZN, who lied and said they're not doing pay-per-views, but then all of a sudden said pay-per-views no longer dead, we're doing pay-per-views, did anywhere in the stratosphere of the same numbers? Come on. Unbelievable. I don't believe Eddie Hearn. I don't believe nothing he's saying. He's saying double it. And then you're saying double, it did under 300,000. How do you double that? How do you double under 300,000? So the bottom line is, I believe Canelo is a loss leader. He's losing a lot of money, and the amount that they're paying, you could pay him whatever until you run out of money. That's cool, but you're not getting enough ROI on the event. And here's another question. Like I said, I'm big on this. Put your thinking caps back on, and let's ask ourselves some questions. Common sense. Ask yourself these common sense questions. If Canelo versus Bivol did so well on pay-per-view, where you were elated to see the number that came across the desk when it was all said and done, why is Canelo fighting a 40-year-old Triple G? If you just did great business and the person just beat Canelo, then why on earth would you venture out instead of saying, oh, okay, Canelo has something to prove. He lost to this guy. He lost bad. The guy's a champion, and we did great business together. Let's run that back. I told you, no one in boxing is going to outthink me and insult my intelligence. For example, if Universal Pictures has Vin Diesel and they sign him to a 5-picture deal, and he does a Fast and the Furious movie, and it does these crazy exponential numbers, what do? They make a Fast and the Furious 7, F8, F9, F10, spin-off shows with The Rock, Hobbs and Shaw, etc., etc. If Tom Holland is bringing in a lot of dough as Spider-Man, what do? Spider-Man Returns, Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Multiverse, Spider-Man. They re-up and double up. You mean to tell me DAZN did great business with Canelo and Bivol, and they did these great, unbelievable, shocking numbers that Eddie Hearn is claiming, but then they decided to go a different direction and revisit a guy that Canelo beat years ago? He already beat him. He didn't beat Bivol. You fought Canelo Triple G 2 times, 24 rounds. No one got knocked out. And Canelo has a draw and a victory over Triple G. What he doesn't have is a win over Bivol. In one fight, you lost the fight. You lost most of 12 rounds, if not all 12 rounds. So if you did great business and the man lost and didn't beat, then why would you revisit a fight to a guy he beat in 2018 or whatever? Stop it. Checkmate. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.